Hey there everybody, Nimpulk here. So the very start of Metro is going to be a little difficult. Rainy Metro I think is the most difficult part of Metro. But once you get it, it's not too bad. You usually get used to it. One problem here people will usually have, you could just do this, but like I usually bonk, so what I would do, since I'm not that great yet, I just long jump, triple jump, cap dive, and then I just like do this, because that's easier. Normally you would shake, but you know, you don't have to. This checkpoint doesn't really matter. Now you want to find this thing. You can kill these guys if you want, but it doesn't really matter. You do that. Oh, whoops. So you don't want to wall slide on there, but you would want to do that. Cap bounce, and then it's close. It's generally, if you miss it, it's because you threw your cap too late. So, you know, this jump is usually difficult. I usually miss it. But you can get up to that. Oh, I thought I bonked for a second. So what I do is I do that and then that. Now, I used to try long jumps for this, and it is possible that way, but it's so much easier if you just do this. And if you miss that, you're going to have to take the stairs unless you die, and then you have to do that other jump again. So you long jump here, cap dive. Like I said, cap dives are really important throughout this run. Now, you can get this one right here, but it's not necessarily optimal. So, obviously you'd want to roll and stuff, but I find long jump easier for tutorial purposes. And so we're going to do the whole interior. I usually just break these. There's a faster way. Then I like long jump. Yeah, you can miss it like that, of course, as you saw. Usually I would long jump because it's faster, but you could also ground pound jump, hat dive. But I find long jumping faster. You'll miss the first cycle, as you can see, like regardless. You don't have to break those, I just break those if I do that. Long jump right as you see it going down. Maybe kill those guys if you want to. So this is not the fastest way. You could do it on the platform too, but I find the easiest way is to do that. Then once you get on here, you're just going to want to spam jump. If you haven't got any regional coins on accident, fall for a second, because then you can make this jump. Now you could do a jump right like here. That's a little difficult. I won't cover it. Watch world record if you want to see it, because it's pretty difficult and it's risky if you miss it. You want to get this by throwing your hat at it or ground pounding. Then you want to get up here. This jump has messed me up a lot, because if you miss it, you lose a lot of time. You long jump. After a little bit, you throw your cap, then do that. If you bonk, you'll lose a lot of time, and that's where sometimes I consider resetting. That's like the latest part in the run I usually reset. You're going to want to make sure to hit that checkpoint. It'll become useful later. Now, I may mess up this fight. You can jump out right there, by the way. But the idea is you'd want to two-cycle, of course. So this thing, you could just go wail on him. And if as soon as he falls apart, those electric balls disappear. So just like wail. I mean, obviously that was a slow wailing, and it wasn't really wailing at all. I don't know the exact corners for this, but when you do that, you want to get in the corner. As soon as you see his thing gone, you want to get out of the corner. See, otherwise that will happen. Basically, if you get him in the corner, it'll be faster. And he does this 3 times. Basically, the shorter the distance, the shorter that takes. He does that 3 times. Now, usually most people will take damage here, so hopefully you haven't taken damage. Otherwise, you're probably going to miss the 2 cycle. Oh shit. So you want to be far away enough. That's the problem. If you're not far away enough, you'll miss it, and you have to go through another thing of him running, and you lose time. But that's how you 2-cycle Wiggler. You just want to be far away enough. Usually you would take damage. Because multi-moon, I don't think it matters if you take damage. I just find it easier that way as long as you're not low on health. You do that, you know, this sort of thing. Dance around the multi-moon. And now you'll have a total of 5 moons out of the 20 you need. I'll mention that this tutorial is going to be a bit longer because I'm taking on this in snow. And Metro's really long, whereas Snow's not that long. The next few ones are going to be long in general. You know, skip the movie, spam through his text. If you don't have enough power moons, you won't regardless because it takes forever. Now, right before you hit this thing, you're going to want to get this. Obviously, you could do faster movement, but I'm just showing. Get that girder tunnel because it's a super fast moon. Route might change, of course, but do this. Okay, so this is where you can also make up your own, not make up, but you can kind of change the route if you're bad at this. I suck at RC car, but basically, you can kind of just make sure you get in there. It's not easy by any means because it's hard to control, but if you could just get in there, there are strats, but I'm just bad at it. So you'll have 7 at this point. What I do, there are better ways, but I do that. Not do that though. Basically I get on top of this. If you get like this high, it might be easier, but like if you get on top of that thing, but it's not bad. And then usually there are faster ways, but I find that way easiest, so that's why I'm showing it. You grab this one, the one called Who Piled Garbage on This. So I call that one garbage number 1, basically. So we'll find another garbage one. You're supposed to pull up a bit, because you want to land on this bench. Then you'll do this. You'll get a good bench friend, the most wholesome moon in the game. Hope. And after this next one, you're going to want to teleport. So, oh, I'm sorry, taxi. So after you get this one, obviously it'll be different in other routes for different things. Get this one. As soon as you land, teleport up to this checkpoint you hit earlier, the rooftop, right before the Wiggler boss fight. You gotta make sure to hit that. It's really important because you'll use this checkpoint for important stuff. But once you're over here, long jump, cap dive. You can ground pound or do that, it doesn't really matter. Now it's good to change your camera here, but you could just jump. The reason it's good to move the camera is because you don't want to fall down there, because it's a time loss. If you fall down there, you got to go all the way down there. Then you go up here, get this. Obviously you can do ground pound jumps and stuff to get up there easier. For these things are awkward. I could do like that or something. You want to shake to climb faster. So that's what you do there. You know, get that. And then once you have that, you can long jump. You could also make it with a jump, so I'll show that. I think that was a bad jump though. Once you get that, you won't take fall damage because this stopped your momentum. And then even if you do the head thing, then you want to ground pound right when you're close to it. It's okay, so it's kind of hard to explain. I don't know how to explain it. It's this tile right here. What I do to line it up is the middle of this and this woman right here. So, a little hard to explain. But after that, you jump down and get into here. You're going to get 2 moons in here, and then the rest is pretty straightforward after that. The last 3 are really easy. The idea is you want to, you want to just roll through the crowd on the side here. And even if you were slow like that, you could still get the moon. Now the camera's really awkward here, so I'm going to wait to turn it around just to show you guys. You could do this. Obviously you don't want to like long jump and stuff. And you want to do this. Once you get up there, I just do a cap bounce to get this. And then we head back out. Okay, and now we're going to talk to Pauline, because it's actually, these ones are pretty fast despite having some dialogue and bringing you back to spots, but these next few are super easy. Once you finish that, you have a general idea what your metro time is going to be. So she's just like, you know, can you help me get 4 musicians? You're like, no, but I'll get you 2 just to be nice. So he's like, yeah, I'll help out with the festival. Get the drummer. It'll have the power moon animation where you have a mission. Then as soon as that thing goes up, you know, you just long jump out of this auditorium. That'll bring you back after each one. Each, like, musician. And then obviously you'd want to roll and stuff. You could also go to the heliport if you don't feel like walking. It's not much slower, if at all. You just ground pound on this little part of, I think, of the Wiggler. I just think of it as like the Guardian thing from Zelda, like the small Guardians. And okay, so you know, you just mash through this guy. Last one you get in here, like I said, the last 3 are super easy. It's all movement, really. Movement is something you'll really want to practice in this game in different spots. Once you get that, you could just teleport right back to the Odyssey and you have enough to go on to the next world. Now, I know this has already gone on for 11 minutes, but the snow world, it isn't too long. In an optimal route where you don't do Sphinx, usually you do Seaside first just because you'll need more, but this you just spam A, so it's okay if you do the Sphinx to just go to snow. But snow, you're gonna buy one, so that's why you don't know if you'll have enough or whatever. But then here where we move on. Snow Kingdom. Skip that. Skip another cutscene, of course, coming up. Skip. Mash through text. And of course, shortly after he says what he wants, the cake, you just do that. Spam plus again, basically the pause button. Do this. I should mention in like cutscenes where there's certain ways away, you're just gonna kind of want to long jump in general spots here. Basically, sometimes you might pause early if you're like ending a brutal fight or whatever. I usually roll here, but I was just explaining stuff. So you want to make sure not to pause early, press plus early to skip a cutscene, because then you'll just end up pausing. But certain spots it won't matter. So you want to get Captain Toad here, and in the routes that I'll be showing you, this is the only time in the game on any percent that you do Captain Toad. But we go down here. And then as soon as we fall, and there's this little animation, there'd be rumble if you do that. Well, normally you'd wall jump, so I'm going to show this. Just do this, this, this. But you can get on top of that, of course, and like backflip or whatever. Now what I do next, you can change the order of this. This is where like pretty much one of the only difficult jumps in snow is after the shop, but little difficult parts, I should say, because there's like 2 jumps here. Get the power moon. And this one, of course, you only need 10, so it doesn't take too long. I think snow, for the most part, isn't too bad. You won't see me rolling a lot, just because I think long jumping is easier when you're starting out. You know, after that, get on this thing, cap bounce, wall kick, and do that. Yeah, you might miss the wall kick is the main thing. It's rare that you'll bonk if you get the wall kick and cap. So, once you're up here, you can get up here for extra height if you'd like. Long jump, make sure not to bonk on that. Do that, don't bonk on the corner. And get over here. And then just collect this moon. Now, there's another part I'm going to mention before I move on. We're not going in this top right one, and it doesn't matter if you do bottom left or bottom right first. I recommend doing it bottom left since you fall down from there. But this top left one is the last one we'll be getting, and I'll show you why when we get there. Obviously you'd want to roll and stuff, but what I do that, You don't want to hit him, because that can cause problems. Usually a triple jump there, but say you miss the triple jump here, just do that. That jump can be a little weird. You can, if you want, you can long jump to that platform and then get up these, but you can do this. Once you have that, you go this way. Get the guy with the Santa hat and just blow these guys away. This is the part where if you're doing it right, when you collect this will be your 7th moon. So yeah, snow isn't too hard for the most part. There's some jumps you may screw up, and I screw them up, so don't feel bad. Of course, like I said, I'm not that good, and it shows in this, but part of it's like I don't mind if I mess up, because, you know, a lot of these would be mistakes for people who aren't that great for me, like me. But, like bonking like that. Continuous long jumps are one of the fastest ways of movement that isn't shaking. And like rolling, of course. You could just do this. I usually jump on the guy right here. What you can do is do this, just trigger this. Oh, don't kill the Goomba. Yeah. You want to make sure he doesn't die because you need all 4. And do this. If you want to get coins, which you won't need it at this point of the run, but if you do a different route you will, get this. Ice dodging Goomba stack. Do this. And then you want a long jump here, cap dive. You skip a major part of the stage right there by doing that. I kind of estimated this length that it'll be about 20 minutes for this video. Next video might be that or a little longer, because the one after Seaside takes a while. Like I said, in an optimal route, usually people do Seaside first, but it doesn't really matter, like I said, if you have enough coins. And if you get Sphinx, generally you would do Snow first, because Sphinx gives you plenty. So this is the only one with like those things. You want to make sure not to get up to a certain point, because this is where a brutal fight is that only gives you 1 moon. It's the guy we fought earlier in the Lake Kingdom. You don't want to get up there though, because it's slow and wastes time. You can get that stuff if you want. So once you get up here where this one is, you don't want to get that log, because up there is where the brutal is. You want to go through this snow as fast as you can and grab this. As soon as you drop down, you want to just teleport to the Odyssey. Yeah, actually shorter than 20 minutes. But you know, this kingdom's not too bad. It's the nice thing after Metro, because Metro takes a while. And, you know, there's some difficult jumps, but snow's not too bad. But you know, yeah, it's Snow Kingdom. Next one we'll cover Seaside and Luncheon. Then I think we might cover Ruined if there's time, actually, and then Bowser and Moon, which Bowser is probably the most difficult part in the run, in my opinion. But yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial if you need help. Have a good one.